Hey guys, all right, so you are taking the PE and you're wondering, okay, what do I need to do to pass this thing, right? Okay, so let me tell you what I did to pass the ME, the PE exam. So I took the mechanical engineering discipline, but I think if you're taking a different discipline, I think what I'm going to say in this video is going to help you. But anyway, I took the mechanical engineering discipline of the PE test and the thermal fluids specifically at the second half. And but you know, hey, if you're good at psychrometrics, and go ahead and I don't want to dissuade you from that, but I'm just telling you what I did, and just so you'll know. But again, if you're taking the chemical engineering test or the civil engineering, I think I'm going to share some things that are going to help as you take the exam. So one of the things I wanted to share was I wanted to kind of tell you what I did and some foolishness that I did and some goose chases that I went on, and basically bought a bunch of material that I don't think you're going to need, right? So let me just give you some examples, okay? All right, so I bought, this is one of the things I got here, okay? A big old psychrometric chart, not just one, but a whole book of them, okay? So like all the different conditions. All right, you don't need all this, okay? All this stuff, don't bother with that, okay? You don't need that. I bought this. You look at this. You don't need this, all right? Mark's Standard Handbook for Mechanical Engineering, all right? You don't, no. You don't need this stuff, okay? I spent so much money on this stuff. All right, Dictionary of Engineering, some engineering terms, okay? And guys, the exam is, you know, it's you've only got so much time to work on these problems, and you really don't have time to go be fooling around with digging through a bunch of reference material. And you got to have like one or maybe at the most two reference materials that you can quickly know where everything is and get to them. Okay, so look at this. All right, gas tables, English units. All right, no, you don't need this. Okay, you don't need it. All right, I bought that. Look at this. Gas tables, SI units. No, you don't need this stuff. Okay. Engineering unit conversions. Look at that. All these tabs. No, you don't need it. Okay, look at this. Can you imagine this? Look, ASHRAE handbook. Okay, fundamentals. No, you don't need all this stuff. Okay, and this is the stuff that I bought for the exam. This is not to mention the other books that I had from college that I thought I was going to bring into the test, the fluids text and the machine design text. No, you don't need all that stuff. Look at this. Here's a little compact version of a steam tables. Okay, no, you don't need this. All right, I got a bunch of steam tables here. What? Why? All right, you don't need any of this stuff. Okay, no. Look at this. Fire and explosion protection systems. All right, no, you don't need this stuff. All right, there's really only one book that you need. There is one book, okay? Now, and that's the MERM. All right, now if you're taking the civil engineering exam, you know, it might be the CERM or something, you know. But anyway, this is the Mechanical Engineering Reference Manual. This is the only book you need. This is it, you know. If you can bring one book into the exam, this is the book right here. This, if you're studying for the mechanical engineering exam, I suggest that. Now, the cover may look different now because they update it every so often, right? I've got the 12th edition here, and like I said, they update it, so the cover may be different, but you can see that's Michael Lindenberg, and he wrote the book. And again, this is the only book that you need whenever you take the mechanical engineering exam for the PE test, okay? And not only that, but they have a first section that says, how can you use this book, all right? And they have a lot of you know, questions like, is the exam tricky, and all this, and it'll talk you through some of these things, and even I believe there's a section in here that says, how can I study this book? How should you prepare, go through the book? What's the method? And let me tell you what I did. I basically got this book and I started studying for the PE exam about 4 months, okay, 4 months before the exam, all right? And, and basically I would study like Monday through Friday. I can't remember I probably didn't do it 7 days a week, but I may have done it 6 days a week. I can't really remember now. But it's basically, just say for example, like Monday through Friday, and plan on doing like 1 to 2 hours a night. I think most of the time I did 1 hour a night. All right, and work your way through this book. And I basically started in the front and went to the back, right? And there may be maybe a few chapters in here where I was like, nah, I probably don't need to know this, and I may have skipped those, but for the most part, I went through the whole book. And some of this you might be able to skip if you really, like, for example, like, it goes through, like, there's a chapter on algebra. And so, I mean, if you're real good at math, you might be able to just skip over some of this stuff. But as you go through it, you'll see that it covers a lot of the topics that you're going to know and need to know. And it's going to have the formulas that you need. You've only got a few minutes, for each problem. So you really have to know exactly where the formulas are, and exactly how to apply them, exactly how to use them, the tables that you'll need. In the exam itself, it'll give you most of the pertinent information that you need. Like if you need a psychrometric chart, there, you can really count on there being one in the exam itself, and you don't have to go find one in your book, okay? And but you're gonna have to know, like, they're not gonna give you the formulas though. You know what I mean? You have to know what the formulas are that you have to apply to the problems, and so. You really want to have your reference manual nicely tabbed so that you can get to the equations that you need and just know exactly where they are. And there's something that you can also keep in mind as you take the test. So like if they give you, say, some heat cycle or something, right? And you're not quite sure exactly how to do it, I can tell you some of the things, because I remember encountering this on the exam, right? So, and they were like, okay, what's the efficiency for this cycle? And I was like, I really don't know how to do this problem, but I do know the maximum efficiency of a Carnot cycle. So I figured that out and found out what would be the maximum efficiency for the Carnot cycle for this particular set of conditions. And then if they had an efficiency that was higher than that in the multiple choice, I just eliminated those, right? So it gave me a higher chance of getting the correct answer. So, but anyway, that's a little tidbit there. And there's other general test taking techniques that are good, right? And you probably know a lot of these by now. But just if you don't know the answer, if something looks really difficult, hey, they're all worth the same amount, right? So just kind of skip over that one and go try to get do the next one, and try to finish all the ones you can do first. Get through the whole test, get all the points you can. There's partial credit, and as far as well, not partial credit on each particular problem, but I mean, get as many points as you can first with the low hanging fruit, with the easy stuff. And then go back and later, if you have time, and go get the harder ones, right? And so yeah, there's that. I'd also want to mention, don't forget, you got to have the right calculator. So check on their website to get exactly what the approved calculator is. You can't bring your TI-89 in there or whatever, and your graphing calculator and all that stuff, and you can't. Anyway, I'm going to try to actually put a link to the calculator that's approved here, so you can purchase that. Oh, and you probably want to bring 2 of those calculators just in case, right? One of them breaks and now you don't have a calculator. You'd like to have a backup, right, for calculators. And so yeah, so again, all right, so you want to have these things nicely tabbed, and you want to go through these, and I really just recommend that you start in the front and just work your way all the way to the back, okay? And really understand where everything is. Where are those formulas? Where are the charts? Where are the is the data that you're going to need? And really, if you can bring one book into the test exam, if I were to take the exam today, I would probably just bring this one book into the exam, the MERM, into the book, and just know it, and just know exactly where all these equations are, where all the charts are, and again, because you just don't have time. You know, you don't have time to bring 15 different books in there and you know, think that you're gonna look up something and find something during the exam, because you just have to know where it is. You really don't have time to do you know, R&D. You can't do research and development during the test. You got to really know where it is, and be able to just go find it real fast. Where's the data that I need? Where's the formula? Where is it all at? And just have it and apply it. And so yeah, so that is the main thing. Okay, so that's the first part, right? So that's the first part of what I did, okay? It's basically study all these things, study this book, let that be the focal point. And again, if you're a civil engineer and they have, you know, something similar, what I'm planning to do actually is I'm planning to, in the description in this video, I'm planning to put like a link to each of these for each of the disciplines. So the MERM for the mechanicals, and then whatever the equivalent is for the civils, and whatever the equivalent is for the chemicals, and whatever the equivalent is for electrical engineers. I'm planning to go through and put links to each of those, right, where you can go and just buy those books. And by the way, I'm going to include a discount code that where you can get 15% off of each of these books, okay? And okay, so that's the first part. Let's see here. Yeah, so trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about this book before I move on to the second part of what I think you should do, or what I did at least. I mean, if it worked for me, I think it should probably work for you as well. But yeah, I think before I leave this, I think just I would recommend that. I mean, at least 4 months. I mean, hey, if you want to start 12 months before the test, I mean, hey, that's even better. I think, you know, be even more prepared. And you know, but what I did was I started about 4 months before, and that seemed to work for me. But if you've already applied and you know the test is coming, and you know you don't want to delay, or you know that you're going to apply, and by the time you actually take the test, it's going to be 12 months. Hey, go ahead. I mean, why not? You can go ahead and start, and maybe you'll have a little more. You'll be more prepared. You'll be more ready. So that'll be even better. But yes, yeah. I mean, that would be what I would suggest, to go through this one book. I mean, and I'm just thinking, don't try to like memorize all these 15 books, because you know you don't have time. You know, it's just one book. Just remember this one thing, and just know it, you know, back and forth. And okay, so that's that. All right. The second thing is that once you do that, once you go through the book and you really have come to a point where you're like, okay, I think I'm basically well versed in this book. I've got it nicely tabbed. I know where everything is. I know where the charts are. I know where the formulas are. I've gotten used to my new calculator, you know, and I'm really ready now to start taking some practice tests and get some of those reps in. What I did was I went to a website called PPI to Pass, and again, I'm gonna put a link in the description, right? That'll take you right to the website. And I took their practice exam to give some reps, right? so I could get some practice, because like I said, this exam is fairly fast paced, and you've only got like a short amount of time for each problem. So you can't come to one problem and say, okay, I'm going to take 45 minutes on this one problem. You can't do that. You got just like maybe like 4 minutes, I think, or maybe two, or it's been a while since I've taken the test, but I think it's 4 minutes, and then I believe it changes like for the first 4 hours, and then the second 4 hours. I think the time there might change a little bit, but the idea though is that you don't have a lot of time. It's like just a few minutes for each problem, and so you really have to know. You really have to be, like I said, you have to know where the stuff is. You have to be able to just go quickly to it, get what you need, apply it, and because you're not going to have time to sit there and ponder, and think about it. And so that's that. And so anyway, that's why I want to, that's why it's good, I think, to get some reps in. Good, just make your mistakes on the practice exam, and get better and better, because but yeah, that's what I did. I went to PPI to pass, and that's where I took some practice tests there. And like I said, I'm going to put a link down in the description that'll bring you right to the website. Either that, or I'll put like a discount code, because I do have a discount code that you can use to get 15% off of whatever you of the exams that you use to practice on that website. So that'll be good. That'll be good for you. But okay, so they have that, and then I would also suggest that you get the official things that that the NCs puts out, right? So the organization that gives you the test, they have their own practice exam that they issue. I mean, I suggest getting that. I got those practice problems from them, and I worked those problems. I suggest you do that as well. It's I think it's good to do that. And yeah, I mean, I would also, I would also go through everything actually that the test giving organization would suggest. They on their website, they go through things like, what you should eat, or how much you should sleep the night before, and the other suggestions of what you can do to just get yourself ready. But anyway, you can read through those if you like. But whenever I took the test, I didn't find someone telling me, hey, don't buy these books over here, you're gonna waste your money, just go buy this one book right here. And so anyway, hopefully this is gonna help you to do well on the test, and kind of cut out all the goose chases and running around and all of that. But anyway, yeah, check out the other stuff on PPI to pass. They may have updated their website now. They may have, well, it's been a while since I've taken the test, right? So they may have improved on some of their methodologies and some of the products that they have on their pages now, where if I saw it today, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, this will be great as well. I'm just telling you what I did. I basically studied this MERM, this one book right here, very thoroughly. Took the PPI to pass test problems to get some practice in for the exam, and that was good enough for me. I think that will be good enough for you. However, we all have other things that will help prepare us more, and I think that what is on PPI to pass's website is it'd be worth really checking that out thoroughly, and really going through your discipline, and because they have it nicely laid out for each discipline, whether you're mechanical or electrical or whatever discipline you are. They have the tools on there very nicely laid out. Different plans, if you're the person that wants to take it for, have access to their practice problems for a year, they have that. If you want to do it for a week, I believe they have that. If you want to do it for 3 months, they've got all these different things. They've got all these different books, and and tools. So I do recommend that you thoroughly look through their website for your discipline and determine the plan that is going to work best for you. Determine the materials that are going to work best for you. There may be some other books now that they have available. There may be some other tools that they have available. So I would recommend that you do go through it and spend, it might take you 30 minutes, it might take you 40, just to go through it thoroughly, because if you spend some time doing that, that can really kind of save you some headache and a lot of time on the back end where you're kind of like, oh man, what do I do? Where do I go? You can kind of head all of that off by just kind of, looking at a good resource like that and letting them, kind of let you see what you can study this, you can study that, and because we all have different ways that we like to prepare. We all have different things that help us more when we're preparing. Some of us like to do it slower and have longer programs. Some of us like to use certain books. Some of us, and I think they've got a lot of tools on there that'll help you and probably fit your style of how you like to prepare is what I'm getting at, right? So what I'm telling you is what I did to prepare me, for myself, and they have those available if you want to look on there and check out that they have those tools on there that make those tools available to do it the way that I did it. But like I said, we all have different personalities, different ways that we like to prepare ourselves, and I think that as you go through there, you'll be able to find the information and the tools that are going to help you to prepare, and really you got to come up with a plan. I gave you the plan that worked for me. For example, take the MERM, study it 4 months, do it basically every day, Monday through Friday, for 1 to 2 hours a day, and then after you do that, after you got it very thoroughly, you're comfortable with it, all marked, all tabbed up, and then take some practice exam problems, right? That's what worked for me. That was my plan, right? And I executed that plan, and it worked for me. I passed the test on the first try, and so, but you want to have a plan. It's kind of like a diet plan, right? Like, or a workout and an exercise plan. Like, which one works? Well, really, they probably all work if you work that plan, right? If you stick to that particular plan that you choose, it'll probably work, right? But it's kind of like that for this, right? You want to have a plan, and then you want to work that plan. They say plan the work, and then work the plan. So you want to have a good plan in place. And but I do suggest that. I suggest you go through the PPI to Pass website, think about what I said, and get out a piece of paper and a pen or a laptop or however you like to think about things and come up with a plan, and basically go through these things and say, okay, this is going to be my plan. This is what I'm going to do, and yours might look exactly like mine, and that's fine. But you may want to modify it a bit, and that's fine too, and I think that'll be good. But I guess what I'm encouraging you to do is just to go on their website, go on the PPI to Pass website, go through the tools that they have available, and come up with a plan that you are comfortable with. And if it's buy a book, buy a MERM, or whatever your discipline is, and basically just follow that same path that I did, that'll be great. If you find some different tools on there that you want to incorporate that you think will help you, that'll be good too. And maybe you want to get with a partner and be study together, and that's if that works for you, and y'all are able to basically study without cutting up too much and talking too much, and well, that might be what works for y'all, you know. But yeah, that's the bottom line. Is I'm just trying to encourage you to get a plan, you know, and if you don't have a plan, you know, you can you can just do what I did, right? And 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 most likely it'll work for you if you'll do that, you know, if you will actually, you know, study 1 to 2 hours a night every night, you know, for Monday through Friday, or you know, for 4 months, and then take some practice problems, right? And until you're comfortable that you are ready for the exam. And so, all right, guys. Hey, again, I am going to put a link in the description that will bring you right to their website. And I am also going to make a discount code available to you, where you, whenever you're checking out, you can put the discount code, you know, apply it to your order, and it will give you 15% off of your order. So all right, guys, well, hang in there. All right.